join me in welcoming in, all the way from Derbyshire, Kent Kauppinen.
The hammer horn, Kent Kauppinen. Entering the ring to the sound of silence here. It's an interesting tactic, maybe. He's looking for the element of surprise. 8 bouts into his professional career. His one win came in a second round stoppage of Tyrone Williams, who was making his debut on the 24th of November last year. So beware Michael Ibrahim. There is plenty of power in those hands of the Derbyshire man.
And please welcome his opponent from Harlow, Michael Ibrahim.
Interesting one, Michael Ibrahim. This is professional debut. At 28 years of age, he's only had 3 bouts before, not as an amateur, but as an unlicensed fighter, but he is supremely confident. Wants to go through the levels quickly, use the element of surprise. Says that nobody knows anything about him, and he certainly talks a big game. He's got his sights set on getting belts. He's already mentioned some of the top names in the British Cruiserweight division. It might be ambitious, but we are going to find out a great deal about him this evening under the lights in Bethnal Green. A busy man, as well as professional boxing. He's got 2 jobs, 4 kids, and a dream.
This is a Cruiserweight contest of 4 3-minute rounds. Introducing in the blue corner, wearing the black shorts with a red trim. Weighing today at 14 stone and 5 pounds, it is 9th professional contest from Derbyshire, Kent Hammerhorn Kauppinen. And his opponent across the ring in the red corner, wearing the black and white shorts. Weighing today at 14 stone and 1 pound, making his professional debut from Harlow in Essex, Michael Ibrahim. Your timekeeper, your referee, Jeff Hines from Reading. This is a Cruiserweight contest of 4 3-minute rounds.
Great reception there for Michael Ibrahim. From Harlow in Essex to Bethnal Green, East London, not a particularly long journey for him or his travelling band of supporters. The Hammerhorn, Kent Kauppinen, from Swadlincote, Derbyshire, but spends a lot of time in Richmond, South London, so not too far for him either. Just 5'11", Michael Ibrahim, so quite short for a cruiserweight, but as we can see, he's heavyweight, muscular around the shoulders and chest.
Seconds out.
Backs himself power-wise. And here's the bell for the first time as a professional. Says he's been working hard on the inside. Knows that that's the key to success as a shorter cruiserweight who'd like to one day go on to be a heavyweight. He gets caught by the jab there of Kent Kauppinen. And this could be the first time he ever really feels the power of a professional. And that is something that Kauppinen has. Just the one victory to his name. But that was a second round stoppage. He's not scared to throw the leather. 30 seconds in. Plenty of nervous energy from both of these fighters as Ibrahim looks to let that right hand go and the crowd respond. But back comes Kent Kauppinen with that left. Both fighters this evening very much come to win. Ibrahim just out of range with that right hook. Working behind the jab. Something looks a little bit off with the balance of Ibrahim as he throws those shots. Oh, Kauppinen lands with a heavy right hand and a wild right hook. Well, if one of these lands from either fighter, surely it's going to be lights out. Not even 90 seconds into the bout yet, 4 scheduled rounds. Michael Ibrahim. Just his 4th time in the ring. Doesn't entirely look like he has the patience to go 4 rounds here. Loses his balance on the way in. Certainly looks like an athlete in these moments, reaching for that right hand. But again, just struggling with that balance. That's something he's going to have to work on. if he's going to stick at it as a professional. 2 minutes gone of round number 1. It's been an exciting round, though. Both men have come to fight. Just slows down now after that frenetic start. Some of that nervous energy will probably have just started to wear off. Both men's lungs will be heaving slightly, and they'll slow down into what will become the pace of the fight. Again, Kauppinen the aggressor, that looping right hand. Ibrahim managed to evade it so far. Manages to turn him around. Oh, nice movement from Kauppinen as Ibrahim comes in with that left hand, missing with the hook. It's a bit predictable. You can tell there's plenty of force behind those shots. And there goes the bell at the end of round 1. Michael Ibrahim survives his first as a professional. Kent Kauppinen staying up on his feet in the corner. Looks perhaps the more comfortable of the two. And let's hope that round 2 is as exciting as the opening stanza.
Corners, 10 seconds. Seconds out, round 2.
Bell goes for round 2. These two heavy-set cruiserweights let the shots fly in round 1, and Ibrahim looking to set the tone in round 2. This is the round that Kent Kauppinen's only professional victory so far came in November last year, as he gets over the top with the right hand there. Just cuffed Ibrahim on the side of the head and slowed him down. And Ibrahim again, every shot's a power shot. Surely he can't maintain this pace for the entire bout. He's throwing a few out of range. Needs to stay calm, but it's easy for me to say that. I don't have Kent Kauppinen the other side of the ring, trying to stop me with every shot. Just in between shots, Ibrahim looks like he's breathing a bit heavier than his opponent. Again, throwing that right hook that Kauppinen can telegraph. It's a solid jab there from Kent Kauppinen as well. Slightly taller of the two. Just keeping Ibrahim at bay with that left hand. No doubt looking to tee up the right that he threw from miles out in round 1. Approaching halfway through the second round. Big lead right from Kauppinen. Glances Ibrahim, who's noticeably slowed down, but then lands his heaviest shot of the bout so far. There's Ibrahim. That languid left hand finding a way through. Said before the bout that he wants to fight on the inside, but all his best work coming from a long way out, but Kauppinen's caught Ibrahim there, and Ibrahim responds by trying to turn it into a wrestling match. Often the sign of a man on the back foot. The referee will give him every opportunity. But this is wild stuff from Michael Ibrahim. The crowd will be enjoying it a lot more than his corner will. Again, Kauppinen trying to take Ibrahim's head off with every shot. If one of these lands from either men, I fear for the opponent. Again, wild stuff from Ibrahim. He's perhaps done the better of the work in the second round. Again, both men starting to tire as they come together again. Not much of this second round to go. Kauppinen again, wild with that right hand. And no surprise that the referee doesn't drop to the canvas and give us a 3 count. Bit more WWE than Queensberry rules, and the referee going to have to talk to these two because this can't continue. We've got 4 rounds scheduled, and all the good work they've done being undone by this scrappy stuff as we come to the end of the second. Again, Kent Kauppinen choosing to remain on his feet. Glancing over at Michael Ibrahim's corner. Certainly looks the more fatigued of the two. Could tell he was starting to tire at the end of the second.
10 seconds.
So much of your first few bouts as a professional are how you deal with the environment.
Seconds out, round 3.
The crowd, the lights, the ring, the energy. They can just sap the conditioning of even the fittest fighter. But here we go for round 3 of the 4 scheduled. Ibrahim, blue gloves, black trunks, white trim. Kauppinen, blue gloves, black trunks, red trim. Ibrahim seems to have got a bit of that energy back though, bit of that bounce, bit of that swagger that he had in round 1. Kauppinen, that heavy, long jab. Almost piston-like, gets his whole body behind it and it forces Ibrahim back. Oh, lovely shots there from Kauppinen. Can tell they hurt Ibrahim. Oh, another right hand as well. Ibrahim holding on, looking for a way out, looking for an exit. This is where the experience comes in, and this is what Ibrahim doesn't have. Oh, Ibrahim really struggling, backs up. The referee taking a good look at it. He gets wrestled to the ground, but Michael Ibrahim does not look comfortable in there at all. He's been battered by Kauppinen. He was thrown to the ground. And how much does he want this? His body language tells me not very much. And the referee calls them back in. Michael Ibrahim on debut after all the talk. Now he needs to deliver. Looks out on his feet. Don't know whether that's because he's hurt or whether because all his energy's gone, but he's turning his back on Kauppinen here. Does the Derbyshire man have the discipline to finish him? Yes, he does. Well, the referee waved his arms there. I'm not entirely sure if he's called it off. Yes, he is now. Kent Kauppinen turned the screw on Michael Ibrahim. And the Essex man's debut ends in a 3rd round stoppage. You could see the confidence drain as Kent Kauppinen bullied him in that 3rd round. There were signs of it in the opening 2. And Kent Kauppinen gets his 2nd victory, both of them coming via stoppage. A tough night at the office for Michael Ibrahim. Certainly promising signs at the beginning, great energy. But as soon as Kent Kauppinen started to throw those bombs, his composure went. And that's the difference between those who come into this professional game with a good amateur pedigree and those who don't. Maybe this fight came a little bit too soon for Michael Ibrahim. Time for the decision.
After 1 minute 38 seconds of round 3, referee Hines stops the contest with Ibrahim in no position to continue. Your winner from Derbyshire, Kent Kauppinen.
Disappointing debut then for Michael Ibrahim. Maybe too much too soon, but the referee, as always, keeping the fighter's safety as his paramount objective. Kent Kauppinen went toe-to-toe and came out on the right side. A 2nd stoppage victory for him.